everybody. I'm here with Lauren Bassford. She is one of our newest authors that we have added to the Truth Publications lineup, and she's here to talk about her new book, Seeking Christ, Colossians for Women. Lauren, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am Lauren Bassford. I live in Columbia, Tennessee with my husband, Matt. We work at the Jackson Heights Church of Christ in Columbia. We have two kids, Zoe and Marky. Zoe is 11 and Marky's 10. And I homeschool both of them, which is a full-time job all by itself. But I also get to teach a lot of ladies' studies, and I really enjoy that. So writing material like this has been super fun, and an opportunity to get into the Word more myself.
Absolutely. So this one is specifically about Colossians.
It is.
What made you select Colossians?
So I have studied Ephesians a lot. I don't know that I've ever been in a Bible class about Colossians, and I realized that they're similar in content, but Ephesians is maybe a little more accessible. But I think Colossians has unique stuff to it. And so I said, well, I'm going to pick up the redheaded stepchild, and we're going to do that one instead. My daughter's redheaded, so I'm allowed to say that. So I'm going to do Colossians instead and see what makes Colossians unique, and still get some of the doctrine that we're familiar with, but maybe from a different point of view.
So I know in here you tackle like faith, hope, and love in more of a textual instead of topical way.
Right.
I hear something specific about a pivot in chapter 5. Would you like to speak about that?
Right. So lesson 5 takes us through the back half of Colossians 2. And I think in my experience, women tend to shy away from the first part of books like this. That we say, ooh, scary theological stuff. I don't know about this. And we just jump to the end of the book where we talk about, okay, here are the things that I should do, and here's my checklist of all the things that I ought to be remembering to do. But when we consider those without the theology at the beginning, we miss the why. We pick up the what, but without the why, it just turns into a stress thing. And oh no, I have to be good and remember to love my kids today, as opposed to Jesus died for me. And here's how that changes my life. And because of that, I will love my kids differently. So I think a textual study is useful because it takes us through the underpinnings of the application points that we know and that we enjoy talking about. But it gives us some of the background and the why and the understanding behind what it is that we're supposed to do.
That's so cool. I'm very excited to study this book for myself. From what I've read, it's fantastic content. I'm excited to dig into it, like I said, and to sell it to our customers, of course.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you want to speak to about this book specifically?
This book, I think, is a really good study for people who feel inadequate, who feel like they're not enough. Because the point of the book is that you're not enough, but Jesus is. And so the book kind of speaks to, when you feel like you're not enough, lean into that and acknowledge that it's Jesus who makes you enough. And that changes the way you go through your life, because you don't have to be enough anymore. Jesus is enough for you.
Absolutely. One of the chapters is titled Seeking Things Above, which of course is found in Colossians 3. And would you like to speak a little bit to that?
So that chapter is about a perspective shift. So it's going from, when we're seeking the things on the earth, we are focused on what we can see. And that's a lot of me. It's a lot of focus on myself. It's a lot of focus on the logistics of the day-to-day. Women, moms especially, are very, I've got to cook supper and I've got to wash the dishes and all that needs to get done. But when we start seeking the things above, it gives new purpose to the things that we do. And so I'm not just washing the dishes. I'm serving my people. I'm serving God by serving my people while I wash the dishes. It's my why. And when I have that why underneath what I'm doing, it changes everything about what I do. And so when I seek what's above, where Jesus is, instead of just seeking for myself, it changes my whole life, as opposed to just a checklist, which doesn't.
It can only do so much.
It can only do so much, yes.
Exactly. Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Likewise.
Can we look forward to more books from you in the future?
Absolutely. I'm working on one now on anxiety and depression through the lens of the Psalms, which has been a really fascinating study.
Yeah.
And hoping to look at the assurance of salvation next year. That's next up on my list. So hopefully those will be out soon.
Yeah, but we look forward to it. Look forward to seeing more from you. You can find this book and more at truthbooks.com. And we look forward to seeing more from Lauren. Thank you so much.
Thank you.